Okay, ladies, in this tutorial, I will be showing you how to achieve this dark, sexy red with a hint of little purple. Products that was used: 16, 18, and 20-inch hair that was already dyed, 30 and 40 Devoloper, and the colors that we used: Magenta, Red Crimson, and a little bit of Violet Gem. Alright, these are just a few pictures so that you see the color when it was all done. This is the hair. It was already pre-dyed one time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into these ladies. Right here, as you can see, I will be mixing my Devoloper and my bleach together right now. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that onto all of the hair, just the bottom row, because we want that dark red to be at the bottom. I'm going to apply that all into the bottom. We're going to wrap it up with foil after then and let it sit for a good 30 to 45 minutes and then come back. Enjoy. Now, ladies, when you are doing this, please make sure that you are using gloves. I dye hair all of the time, so that's why I use it, and that's not even a good example to even give you. But later on in this video, I will have gloves when I finish it. So just to let you know, ladies, that these chemicals are pretty harsh. I actually had the sliding door open that you just can't see right now, but make sure you have it ventilated, some air, fans blowing, because they can get pretty strong in there. Okay, with dyeing, you want to make sure that you have pretty much of a thick substance, not too thick, but not too liquidy. You're going to go ahead and lay it down on all of the tracks on the bottom part. I already did that, so I'm coming back to you with the finished touch. You're going to go ahead and wrap each piece into foil. Now, this is me checking it roughly about 30 minutes after I did it. Now, what I'm noticing is that my color is not getting as bright as I want to. So if this happens, go ahead and wash it out, lay it back out, comb it out, see what parts need to be re-dyed again, re-bleached again. And I just go back in and do those parts and repeat the same process. So I think with this, I'm only going to do it with that big piece right here, just to lighten it back up. And that's after it's done. Now this is the exact color that I'm looking for. Vibrant, juicy, beautiful. So whenever you put whatever color, blue, magenta, doesn't matter, on top of this, it's going to absolutely take and be very, very strong. And yes, ladies, when you do this, set your little area up. I do a lot of plastic bags. I usually tack them down to the floor, set up my little station. It really doesn't take much, just a little small private area, and you go from there. But yes, now with that top part of the hair is dark brown, I'm actually going to dye that top part jet black, and that's going to be towards the end of the video. Okay, so now it's time to actually mix the colors in together. Now with doing this, I wanted to make sure that I use the same amount of color in each one. So I'm going to do a step-by-step process just with the small container, just to make sure I'm mixing the right amounts in each one. Now in these two containers, I'm going to be mixing the magenta and red crimson together. 1 cup in each one. I'm going to go back and forth until it's empty, just so I can make sure the color is even on all spectrums all the way around. And right here, we're just going to go ahead through there. I'm going to do, I think that's the magenta. Go ahead and even those out. Do the red crimson. And at the end, I'm going to add in a little hint of the violet gem. And you'll be able to see for yourself. Now this is actually my most favorite part, creating the color. Because it's all in your world and how you do it. Everybody's color is not going to come out exactly the same way, and that's the beauty of it. So it can get a little bit messy. So make sure you have your gloves on. Like I told you ladies, I was going to have gloves in the second part. You have a neck in there because, oh my God, my mother gets so upset when I have the color everywhere. But just go for there and let your creative mind flow and see what you create, you know? I love colors. It's such a beautiful thing. So when I'm going to do on both sides, I think now I'm on the crimson, if I'm correct. Yes, I already did the magenta. Yes, and we're just about done. And we're mixing all these colors in together. Your ladies be able to see from there, and then I'll come back with you with how we apply it. Now, as you can see with the violet, I just did 1 cup into each one evenly. Just to add a little bit of spice. I'm all about making my colors have something weird or unique pop out in the sun or when you're looking at it. So just a hint of a little purple just to pop through. I'm going to go ahead and mix those through very, very well. And here we go, right to the hair. And all I'm going to do is just lay it on top of the hair that I already dyed. Saturate it up, get it really, really good. This part is really, really important because you don't want to have any blotches, any slits, any cuts or anything like that in it. So make sure you have a full amount of color. I have 2 big bowls, so I'm pretty good on my hair. I'm just going to go through, saturate that all up. This is a really, really important part, ladies. This right here determines how long the color stays vibrant. You know, it depends on this actually gets the color that the client truly wants, you know. So this is really, really important. And make sure you're getting all the way down to the grooves of those ends, coloring all of that. Yes. This one, it starts to get very, very beautiful. Now with that top part that's connected to that dark brown part to where the blonde starts, you want to make sure you saturate that, you know, that riggedy line that's through there, just to make sure your red is all up in there, because that top part, the dark brown part, is actually going to be dyed black eventually. So you just want to make sure you get all of that in there. Okay, so yes, let me get on back in here. So make sure we have it all saturated, all red up. And then we're going to eventually turn this hair to the other side. You want to make sure that you are saturating both sides. So even though you're getting it all in through that top part, sometimes I see women that don't flick the hair, like they kind of like just leave the hair flat and then they just slide the bottom hair over and over. No, you physically want to pick that hair up and turn it around so you can get the opportunity to get colored up fully, just like that other side. And that will be coming up right here. Pick that up. Just turn the whole entire piece around. Lay it right flat back down. That's why I use the paper bags and I tack them down, because it's just so easy with maneuvering them around. Go ahead, straighten out your hair. Let's get right back to it. Color it all up, get in there. Another thing that I do too, when I am actually bleaching the hair in the beginning, I put a little bit of conditioner into the bleach. You can put it into the color too if you chose to. This just makes sure that you're not drying out the hair all the way. Sometimes when you develop at 30 and 40, it can make the hair a little dry. So that's why I always just put a little bit of conditioner. I use As I Am conditioner a lot. I love that. And it doesn't take away from the hair. It keeps it soft, keeps it potent. So yeah, that's a little tip that I use. Sometimes you can use coconut oil. It just depends on what you use. I would say nothing that's really heavy with a lot of ingredients, something that's organic, things like that would be really, really good, lightweight. But that's good, just another protective layer to keep your hair for longer. And yes, we're just going through with that part. Now make sure you're not overusing color. When I used to start dyeing a few years ago in the beginning, I was so heavy-handed with my color that by the time I got to the end, I wouldn't even have enough color to fully do what I wanted to do. It's like I'm scourging to try to color all the hair, because I used so much in the beginning. So another important thing is watching what you're using. Make sure you're not using too much. Dipping it in there constantly doesn't mean anything. You can dip it in there and get a little bit at a time, so that doesn't mean anything. So right here, I'm just making sure I'm folding the ends together. Now I'm just scrambling the hair, just scrunching it all together, getting that color up in there, making sure that when that client hair blows in the wind, left, right, it doesn't matter, that color is in every single strand. That's the most important thing. Yeah. So this piece right here is pretty much good, nice and saturated. Now, all saturated up. It's been folded on each side, front to back. Now with this, I will go ahead and let that red, I really want that red to take, so I'm actually going to let that sit on there for probably like a good 45 to an hour. Get that all up in there. And then I'm going right back to my top, because my client is natural hair. She is dyeing it jet black, if I'm correct. And this hair that she brought to me was like a sandy dark brown, so you can tell in the sun. So I'm going to go ahead and dye that top part jet black for my client. Now right here with that red, after you dye that red, you want to go ahead, comb through all the hair, make sure you got it straightened out, laying flat. Just make sure that everything is developing at the right amount of time, laying out flat. Always take little moments to make sure my plastic is still covered, not messing up the carpet or anything like that. Now we're going back in with the jet black, that top part. Now a lot of times I like to whisk my brush, like not horizontal but vertical, and where the red and black meets, I like to kind of dab a little bit in that area just to make sure those colors are mixing and whisking together. Very good. You don't want to have red just right there and black just right there. I like to have a little blending right there in that point. So this part is really, really simple. Just making sure that all that top part is black, nice and saturated. Yes, I have a feeling this is going to be a beautiful creation. And right there she has a closure. I'm actually going to go ahead and dye that top part of the closure all black. Even that net part that's a little brown, I'm going to go ahead and dye that black too. Now with here, I'm just folding over, opening up the hair. Because with this part right here, with the hair already being a dark brown, that black is going to take pretty easy. So just going through, opening up the hair, making sure I'm sliding that black dye all up in there. I'm going to go ahead and go through each piece of the hair. Make sure it's all jet black on that top. And I'll be back with you, ladies. Okay, so yes, we're basically just about to end. We're going to go ahead and let it sit, and then we're going to wash it out. And I'll be coming back to you, ladies, to let you get a full effect and see how it looks. I'm liking it so far, yes. Okay, so I went ahead and washed and conditioned it. Went ahead and blow dried it, combed it out. And this right here is the color that we have. I can already see the hint of the purple and the red. But once you actually see it sewn in the hair, you will get a much better effect of the color. It's a glare with the white bag and everything. And it was late when I was recording this, so my apologies. This is the conditioner that I use as I am. My client braided up. Went ahead and put the sew in. Color looks beautiful. Back. Side. Yes.